My child, listen closely. Because heaven is speaking to you right now. Something remarkable is about to happen in your life. This is not a wish, or a passing thought, or something you stumbled into by accident. This is a divine appointment that was written in heaven long before you drew your first breath. You did not find these words through any ordinary sequence of events. Heaven chose this exact moment to find you. I have been waiting for this day. The day when you would pause long enough to hear my voice again. The day when my promise would finally break through and reach your heart. Angels have been present, watching and waiting for this precise second, because they know that everything in your life is about to shift. You have walked through days that felt unbearably heavy, and nights that felt like they would never end. And you have wondered in those quiet moments whether I still see you, whether I still care, whether anything genuinely good could still find its way to you. But I tell you today, yes, my child, something remarkable is going to happen in your life. This moment carries my mark and my touch. You are standing at the edge of a miracle, and heaven is already moving on your behalf. Even as these words reach you, I am working behind what is visible to you, arranging things you cannot see, moving situations into position, opening doors, bringing healing to places that have been wounded for a long time, preparing blessings that are already in motion toward you. This is not just another hour passing through your day. This is the hour heaven has chosen to begin your breakthrough. I have watched you hold on through storms that should have broken you. I have seen your tears fall silently while you tried to remain standing. I have heard the prayers you whispered in the dark, the ones you were not sure anyone was receiving. I collected every tear, and counted every sigh, and remembered every word you brought to me. And today I say to you, those prayers were never lost. They were growing in heaven's soil. And today, the first evidence of your miracle begins to emerge. I have seen the seasons of pain and confusion you walked through. And though they felt as though they would never end, nothing in them was wasted. I was preparing something in you during that time. Something that would be ready for exactly this moment. There are no accidents in my kingdom. Every step you took, every delay, every disappointment, all of it was carrying you here. When you thought I was silent, I was writing your story. When you thought I was far away, I was standing closer than your next breath. And now here you are. Right on time. Right where I planned for you to be. Receiving words that were shaped with your name in mind. You are not late. And you are not behind. And you have not missed your moment. Heaven's timing is exact. And today heaven has chosen you. I know how difficult it has been to keep believing. The waiting has been long. And the answers have seemed distant. You have watched others receive what you prayed for, and wondered in the quiet whether I had simply forgotten your name. But my child, I never forget. I have carved your name into the palms of my hands. Every heartbeat of yours is known to me. You are more seen and more loved and more protected than you have been allowing yourself to believe. And because you have kept walking, even when it hurt, even when nothing made sense, I am about to do something that will surprise you. What is coming will make sense of everything that preceded it. What is coming will cause you to say, only God could have arranged this. Something remarkable is going to happen in your life. Not through your effort. And not through your strategy. But through my Spirit. This is not about luck or coincidence. It is about divine timing. You have stepped into the moment heaven has been preparing for you. You do not have to do anything extraordinary right now. You simply have to believe. As you open your heart even now, something is shifting in the unseen. My peace is entering places where anxiety has been living for too long. My joy is touching corners of your heart that forgot what being fully alive feels like. My light is breaking through the clouds that have been surrounding you. The heaviness that has been following you will begin to lift. The burden you have been dragging will start to loosen its grip. Right now heaven is closer than you are aware of. The same power that brought life out of death is working in your situation. The same love that placed the stars in their positions is working in your heart. Do you feel that warmth beginning to rise inside you? That is my presence. That is heaven drawing near. You are being surrounded by the same love that has followed you since before your first breath. Every time you doubted, I stayed. Every time you wandered, I waited. Every time you cried, I came closer. And now I am here, speaking through these words, reminding you that your story is not over. It is only just beginning again. The past is behind you. And this moment is the doorway into something genuinely new. You are stepping into a season where things will start to make sense. Where you will see my hand in the details. Where you will understand that nothing was truly wasted. If my mercy has been rewriting your story, let that truth settle into you as a declaration right now. My child, what is about to happen will not be small, or hidden, or fragile. It will be clear and undeniable and beautiful. I am about to do something that will cause you to lift your hands and say, God remembered me. I am about to fill your heart with a peace so deep that even the people around you will notice the change. I am about to send a joy that displaces the sadness that has been sitting quietly in your soul. You will wake up differently. You will think differently. You will breathe differently. Because when heaven moves, everything changes. And heaven is moving right now. You have waited long enough, and hoped through tears long enough, and wondered long enough. Now is the time I have chosen. You will not have to chase this blessing. It is coming toward you. It will find you right where you are. Just as this message did. I sent it to you because I knew you needed to receive it. Because I knew the exact moment when your heart would be positioned to take it in. I am doing this not because you earned it, but because I love you. Not because you are perfect, but because you are mine. I am faithful even when you doubt. I am merciful even when you fall. I am generous even when you feel entirely undeserving. And my love for you is greater than your mistakes, stronger than your fears, deeper than your pain. Today that love is about to reveal itself in ways that will leave you without words. You have been asking for a sign, for some evidence that I still see you and still know your name. This is it. I am speaking to you right now through these very words, to remind you that heaven has not forgotten your name. The plan I have for you is still alive and moving forward. The promises I made are still completely active. The breakthrough you have been waiting for has not been cancelled. It has been prepared for this exact moment. You are not forgotten. You are favored. You are not abandoned. You are chosen. You are not behind. You are right on the schedule I designed. So lift your head, my child. The weight is lifting. And the season is shifting. And the breakthrough is beginning. Something remarkable is going to happen in your life. Heaven has chosen this exact moment to visit you. Believe it. And receive it. And hold on to it. For before this day is finished, you will begin to see the first signs of what I am doing. My child, while you were crying, I was building what you had been praying for. Every tear you released was not forgotten or ignored or wasted. It fell into my hands and became a seed planted in the soil of your destiny. You thought your pain was pointless. But heaven never wastes pain. Every heartbreak, and every disappointment, and every long night of asking why, all of it carried purpose. You thought you were being broken, but you were being built. You thought you were being delayed, but you were being prepared. Even in the seasons when you could not detect my presence, I was working behind everything visible, arranging every detail, aligning every step, turning what was meant to harm you into the foundation that would carry your blessing. You cried and thought I was silent, but I was listening to every word. Your heart could not find language for. I was closer than ever, watching over you. As I shaped what you could not yet see, I was teaching you to trust in the dark, so you would recognize my light when it came. I was stretching your capacity, not to harm you, but to make room for what I was about to place in your hands. You asked for something significant, something beyond what your own imagination could fully construct, and I had to prepare you to receive it, without being overwhelmed by it. Every tear was counted, and every prayer was recorded, and every sigh and every question, and every frustrated moment of reaching toward heaven, found its way to my throne. You did not see me moving, but I was working in the silence. I was speaking to hearts you have not yet met, moving people into position, arranging what will meet you at exactly the right moment. You thought nothing was changing, but everything was aligning. Every delay was divine direction. Every closed door was my protection. Every unanswered prayer was an answer. You did not yet have the context to understand. When you felt that everything was falling apart, I was holding everything together. I was protecting you from paths that would have broken you, in ways that were not necessary for your story. I was closing doors that looked like opportunities, but concealed pain you did not need to walk into. I was holding back certain blessings, because the season you were in could not yet support their weight. My timing is not slow. It is strategic. What feels like waiting to you is working to me. I move not by your clock, but by eternity's design. The silence was my strategy. I was building the roots before showing you the fruit. While you were waiting, the miracle was growing. While you were praying, the answer was forming. While you were exhausted, I was strengthening what would last. You saw delay. I saw development. You saw endings. I saw new beginnings taking shape. You saw loss. I saw preparation for something greater than what was lost. Support mention. Please consider supporting this channel. If these words have been meaningful to you, our purpose is to carry genuine peace and hope, and a deeper closeness with God into your daily life. If you feel moved to partner with us, the Super Thanks option is available below. You asked me why it took so long. But if you had received what you prayed for the moment you first asked, it would not have been able to fit the version of you I was building through the process. I had to shape your heart to carry the blessing without being consumed by it. I had to grow your patience so that when abundance arrived, you could hold it in peace. I had to build your trust, so that fear would not steal from you what you finally received. I was preparing not only the promise for you, but you for the promise. What I am building requires a solid foundation. And sometimes that means breaking old patterns, and healing old wounds, and removing people and things that were not able to go where you are going. I am a careful builder, my child. I do not assemble blessings carelessly. I craft them with attention to every detail. The paths that seem twisted will one day make perfect sense. The days you concluded were wasted will become evidence that I never stepped away. I see the complete picture, not only the pieces you are currently holding. And when you finally step into what I have been preparing, you will recognize that every moment of waiting was worth precisely what it cost you. Even now, things are being arranged on your behalf in ways you cannot observe. There are blessings already in motion toward you. Divine connections, unexpected favor, answers that have been waiting for the right moment to appear. The things that once seemed impossible are about to unfold with an ease that will surprise you. Not because of your strength, but because of my alignment. You will look back and see how perfectly everything fits together. The timing, the people, the moments. You thought I was taking too long, but I was waiting until the right conditions existed to release what would last. What used to require years of your straining effort will happen in days. What used to drain you will now flow with a naturalness that tells you something different is operating. The same places that once rejected you will find themselves welcoming what you carry. Nothing that left you is meant to stay. I removed what was temporary, so that what is permanent could find room to grow. I closed chapters, not to punish you, but to prepare you for the new story I am writing over your life. Today marks the beginning of manifestation. What was spiritual is becoming visible. What I promised you in private is about to be witnessed in the open. What you prayed for through tears, you will soon hold with a joy that fills the whole room. The seeds you planted in faith are breaking through the surface right now. The waiting has not been wasted. It has been actively working for you. What I whispered to your heart in the quiet seasons is about to come to life before your eyes. You may not feel ready, but I have been making you ready. Through every season that preceded this one, I breathe new strength into your spirit today. I remove the heaviness of prolonged waiting and replace it with the peace of knowing your time has genuinely arrived. Every unseen moment, and every hidden season, and every painful delay has carried you here. This is the beginning of the unveiling. The moment where faith begins to become sight, where promise begins to become reality, where prayers become the testimonies you share with others. So lift your eyes, my beloved. Heaven is moving, and the earth is responding. You are standing in the middle of a divine alignment. What I have been building in the unseen is about to appear in your visible life. Do not fear what you cannot yet see. I am already there ahead of you. The things that once confused you will soon confirm my faithfulness. Today is not just another day. It is the start of the manifestation you have been carrying in faith for so long. My child, I saw every moment you felt forgotten, when the world seemed to be moving forward for everyone else, and you stood in the same place, wondering if I still knew your name. I saw you staring into the dark, questioning why heaven was so quiet, when your heart was so loud with need. You prayed with the last faith you could find, and when no visible answer came, you began to wonder if perhaps I simply was not listening. You watched others receive answers to the very prayers you had been praying, and a deep ache formed inside you, a quiet voice that asked, "Why not me?" But I need you to hear me clearly. I never forgot you. I never turned away. I never left your side. My silence was not my absence. It was my preparation. When everything around you grew still, when doors refused to move, when prayers seemed to dissolve without response, I was closer than I had ever been. I was teaching your heart to trust. Even when you could not trace my hand, I was shaping your faith in the quiet, so you could carry the weight of what I was building for you. I was developing a strength in your spirit, for blessings that would require endurance to steward well. Faith built in silence is the kind that holds in storms. You thought I was not moving, but I was working in ways you simply had no capacity to see at the time. My work does not always announce itself with noise. Sometimes the greatest miracles form in complete stillness. Just as the seed grows beneath the soil, unseen by human eyes, your miracle was taking root in the silence. If you could have seen beneath the surface, you would have known that what looked like delay was divine design. While you waited, I was weaving every detail together, preparing the right people, and the right timing, and the right place. Do you remember how many times you prayed, and felt like nothing was reaching heaven? Do you remember how you whispered, "Are you still there?" I was there in every single whisper. I was in the quiet, receiving every unspoken word. My spirit was present over you in the long nights when sleep would not come, holding you in the moments you felt too depleted to hold yourself. I saw your tears, and though you thought they vanished, I caught every one. I counted them as prayers. Every sigh, and every ache, and every moment you were certain no one noticed. I noticed. I saw how hard it was to keep believing, when nothing around you shifted. But your faith, even at its smallest, was precious to me in a way I cannot fully put into language. The silent seasons are not punishment. They are preparation. You asked me to make you strong, and I did it in the quiet. You asked me to take you deeper, and I took you into the stillness where depth actually forms. You asked me to help you trust my plan, and I gave you seasons where nothing else but trust could carry you forward. I did not abandon you. I was in the process of removing your dependence on what you could see, so your faith could rest entirely on who I am. The silence was never empty. It was filled with my purpose operating beneath what was observable. Just as a seed hidden under the ground You were buried in the unseen. The soil was dark. And the pressure was real. And you genuinely wondered if you had been forgotten. But the truth is, I planted you. And everything planted by my hand must grow. The darkness was not the end. It was the beginning. I was growing you in secret. So that when your time came, the fruit would be lasting and not temporary. When you felt overlooked, I was setting the stage for your emergence. When you felt delayed, I was aligning timing that could not fail. When you felt forgotten, I was preparing to make the testimony of your life unforgettable. You saw stillness, and I saw structure forming. You saw nothing happening, and I saw everything coming together in layers you could not access. My timing has never been wrong. Not once. Every second you spent in the silence was working actively for your good. The world measures time in minutes and hours, but I measure it in purpose. And nothing was wasted. Do you remember how close you came to stopping entirely? How you said, I genuinely cannot continue like this. And yet somehow you kept going. That resilience was mine, flowing through you. The whisper that told you to hold on just one more day. That was me. I never released my hold on you. Even when your faith felt too thin to hold on to anything, I was holding on to you. Every step you took in the dark was still a step toward your destiny. I was walking beside you in every one of those steps. Even when you were certain you were walking alone. I know how much the silence cost you. I know how genuinely confusing it was to choose belief while seeing nothing. But faith grows in the soil of silence. When the noise falls away, my voice becomes something your spirit can actually detect. I was teaching you to recognize my presence, not only in the moments of visible blessing, but in the stillness. Because when you can hear me in the quiet, no storm will ever be able to fully drown out my voice again. You asked for open doors, and I gave you closed ones, because I knew certain open doors would have led you somewhere that would have cost you more than the closed door ever did. You asked for speed, and I slowed things down, because what I am building in you requires roots, and roots require time. Every not yet from me was not a denial. It was a protection. If I had given you everything when you wanted it, it would have overwhelmed rather than completed you. But now, after the waiting, and after the stillness, you are ready to receive what you were not yet equipped for before. If you sense that a breakthrough season is beginning around you, let that awareness be your declaration right now. You will soon understand why the timing unfolded the way it did. You will see why I had to say not yet to certain things and certain people. You will see that my silence was building something inside you that cannot be destroyed by any future storm. Every quiet day, and every prayer that seemed to dissolve into the air, was heaven preparing something better than the version of it you originally asked for. The season that looked like nothing was happening was actually the season where I was doing the most concentrated work. Even now I am breaking the silence with movement. Things are shifting in your favor in the unseen realm right now. The same God who was present with you in every silent season is now sending the joy and the abundance that those seasons were preparing you to carry. The stillness that tested you is now releasing what I promised you. What once felt like delay was divine positioning. You were never forgotten. You were being prepared for something greater than what you had imagined. The soil that once buried you will now reveal what it was hiding beneath the surface. What was unseen will be seen. What was whispered will be proclaimed. What was growing in silence will bloom in a beauty that will take your breath away. You are stepping out of the quiet season and into the revealing one. You will soon say, "Now I understand. My silence was never because I did not care. I was quiet because I was creating. And what I have been creating for you is ready to be revealed." My beloved child, heaven has chosen this exact moment for your release. This is the moment all of creation has been leaning toward. The moment when heaven draws close and declares, "It is time." You may not yet see it with your natural eyes, but all of heaven already knows that your breakthrough season has genuinely begun. The waiting is ending, and the doors are opening, and the weight you have carried for so long is being lifted from you. The silence that once surrounded you is breaking open with the sound of divine movement. Angels are actively rejoicing because a new chapter has been written over your life. You have reached a turning point. The shift that every prayer and every tear and every act of stubborn faith has been leading toward. Everything that worked against you is being turned to work for you. Every delay and every disappointment and every battle has carried you to this intersection where my mercy meets your faith. The season of holding on is becoming the season of stepping into. The season of praying is becoming the season of receiving. The season of breaking is becoming the season of breakthrough. What you thought were endings were actually entrances to something new. The angels who witnessed your tears are now celebrating, because what was a season of mourning is transforming into a season of joy. They are moving around you right now, carrying answers that have been waiting for my word to be released. I have given that word, and it will accomplish exactly what I sent it to do. You are stepping into a new atmosphere, one of favor and peace, and a divine acceleration that will surprise you. Do you feel that stirring in your spirit? That is heaven touching your life right now. Things are shifting in your favor that you cannot yet observe. Doors are opening that you did not know existed. Favor is coming from directions you never anticipated. People who overlooked you will find themselves drawn back to what you carry. Places that once had no room for you will welcome what I have placed in you. I am aligning circumstances with such precision that when it unfolds, you will know it could not have been arranged by any human hand. Do not doubt what you cannot yet see. The same hand that shaped the stars is the hand guiding your future. The same voice that called everything into existence is the voice that says right now, "It is time." My plans for you are still yes, and they are still active. Even if you feel unqualified, even if you feel undeserving, I have already qualified you through my grace. You are not entering this season because of your performance, but because of my faithfulness. When heaven celebrates, it is because victory has already been established. And right now heaven is celebrating over you. Your story, once marked by pain, is now being marked by glory. The years the enemy tried to steal are being restored. The moments you thought were gone forever are being redeemed. You are stepping out of the wilderness and into the place I prepared for you from the beginning. The chains that held you are breaking one by one. The fears that followed you are dissolving. You are not bound anymore. You are free. I know the waiting wore you down. And I know how long the long seasons actually were. But this is the day the waiting ends. You are not at the end of something. You are at the beginning of something entirely new. The doors that were locked have heard my word, and they cannot remain shut. The barriers that stood in your way are falling. Things will begin to flow with a naturalness. That tells you the timing has genuinely turned. You will begin to see my fingerprints everywhere. In conversations, and in opportunities, and in a peace that makes no logical sense. Given your circumstances, when I say breakthrough, everything responds. The same way the sea parted for Moses. The same way the walls fell for Joshua. The same way prison doors opened for Paul. Obstacles will move for you. You are walking into a season where heaven and earth agree concerning your destiny. And when that sudden peace washes over you, know that it is not your imagination. It is heaven confirming that what I promised is done. I am not preparing to bless you. I already have. The manifestation is unfolding right now. You may not understand every piece of it, but you will feel the shift. You will wake up one morning and know that something has fundamentally changed. The heaviness will have lifted. The confusion will have dissolved. And the joy will have risen. Where sorrow was living just before it. This will not be temporary. This is lasting change. Divine transformation. You are entering a season of open doors, and answered prayers, and fulfilled promises. If you believe He is rebuilding your life, and restoring what was taken, let that belief be your declaration. And share this with someone who needs to hear. That the silence was never emptiness. And the waiting was never abandonment. And the one who planted them has never once stopped tending what was growing.